Today's episode is brought to you by True Classic Tees. Come on, man. You know they make the clothing, shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants for the casual person, the one that wants to be comfy, the one that wants to have a little bit of an athletic build up top, but have a little room to play in the midsection. Oh, you see this hoodie? This one of theirs. Shout out to True Classic Tees, man. This is what they do for you, man. They create that type of comfort, that type of loungewear that you need when you're watching sports, when you're kicking it with your family and friends, or you just want to get lost. All right, but the thing that I also love when we talk True Classic Tees is the fact that we have a promo code, and that code is MOATS. You use that, you get 25% off of your purchase at trueclassictees.com. Like I said, man, you can't go wrong with them, man. They have a plethora of options, though, from hoodies, sweatpants, long sleeve t-shirts, short sleeve t-shirts, shorts. Check them out. True Classic Tees. Salute them. The next guy, Keeanu Benton, out of Wisconsin, 6'4", 315, 36 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections. Once again, good size nose tackle, but this dude has really good athleticism, and I think he has a lot more positional flexibility. He could play the nose tech, but I also think he could play the 5 technique in our 3-4 base defense, which is where Cam, Tuitt, Chris Wormley has played. I think he could play a 1 technique or a 3 technique in a 4-3 defense as well. Like I said, very, very versatile in terms of how he can align. But his frame is different. He looks taller and leaner, even though him and Siaki are the same height. It's a difference of like 40 pounds. So he looks and moves differently. I think he plays a really good technique and effort. When you talk about how he gives some of the offensive linemen issues, his quickness, like for him to be as big as he is, he has a nice first step laterally and stuff. And I think it just surprises some of these offensive linemen. And I think when you're talking about him as a pass rusher, not an elite pass rusher, he's an effective pass rusher. He reminds me of Chris Wormley. Watching him rush, I'm like, bro, this is Worm. This is how Wormley rushes the passer right here, man. Very technical, very efficient, makes what he's supposed to make. Not going to win a ton of one-on-ones, but if you're caught slipping, if your technique isn't what it's supposed to be, he will beat you. That's Keeanu to me.
Am I wrong in saying, though, he's a little bit more explosive than Wormley in general?
Yeah.
Athletic, all that.
Yeah, but Wormley also got that big snake knee brace on, too. So I like to say that it's the knee brace. I'm hoping it's that, but I look at Chris Jones with knee brace. I'm like, doesn't hinder him at all. So I don't know. But yeah, Keeanu is definitely a more athletic version of Wormley. Absolutely. The cons are this, though. He's not as fundamentally sound as Wormley. He plays high at times, and it gets him into a lot of trouble. His technique isn't always consistent. Not just the pad level part, because playing high is pad level. The technique is the hand placement. It's not always consistent. Versus lesser competition, he dominates them. You watch the Ohio State tape where he got some real guys out there. They having their way with him at times. When he's balling, when he's fundamentally sound, it looks good. It's good on good. When he's playing high, that boy on roller skates. When his hands are outside, they putting 2 of them things in here and they haven't, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the part when I look at him, I say, yo, you got to be way more buttoned up at this level to have that type of consistent impact. And the last knock is just, I don't think he's an elite pass rusher. Like when you think Cam Hayward, Cam is a double-digit sack guy. I don't think he gets there. I think his ceiling is like Wormley. 7 sacks is a great year for him. But I'm not drafting him to be that either, though. And that's, I think, you have to understand, like, if you're taking him, just what the mindset is going to be when you get this type of guy. But I like him too, though.
He could be better than Wormley. It's just he's not going to be an elite pass rusher. Like that 7-sack year from Wormley was like, whoa, that's an outlier. Right. We don't expect that from him.
Yeah. For me, when I look at him, I'm like, he'll give you a couple sacks here and there, but as a whole, I think that he's just one of those fundamental guys that if he's a part of your rotation, you're dope with it. Even if he has to be your starter, it's cool. You don't want him as your Batman. That's kind of how I look at it. But like if I'm starting him as my nose and then when we go sub package, he's my 1, I'm feeling good. Because he gives you more pass rush than Siaki. But Siaki's definitely the better run defender in my eyes.
Sure. The intriguing thing about him with me is just that versatility because it looked like he was decent at nose in college.
Yeah.
But then he could do all the other stuff
he
and
literally
move
go
across
up and down
the
that
line.
Bro. Yeah.
So it's like those are the types of defense.
Sides. Can play on both sides, right and left.
Those are the types of defenses that we're running now.
Yes.
And why he could be a fit.
Yep.
Yeah, that fundamental stuff could be a problem, though.
Yeah. It was a couple of players I'm like, bro, Tyler Linderbaum, if he does that to you, it's a wrap. Like, You know what I mean?
Well, here's the interesting thing, though. That's all the stuff that happened during the course of the college football season.
Yeah.
You hear all the buzz he got from the Senior Bowl? Like, they were saying, like, he absolutely dominated.
It wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, if it's not the, like, high end, he's going to cook. But the problem is, are you facing the Senior Bowl guard and center in the NFL?
You're playing high end.
You see what I mean?
For the most
like,
part.
Yeah.
There's
like,
some players that aren't high end, but
yeah. But it's
we
like,
can talk about them later.
You know, when you at that level, it's like, man, it's weekend, it's play after play after play. So that's the only thing with the Senior Bowl and with these All-Star games, it's just different. And they're not scheming it up for him. Remember, we talk All-Star games like athlete on athlete. It's kind of like the preseason. You get you a matchup, you get you somebody that you're just a better athlete than, then you good. All-Star games, Senior Bowls, that type of stuff happens. But I can't unsee the stuff that I was watching on tape. And it was like, yeah, unless this is the best guard, you know, coming out, I don't know. Because he was definitely giving my man fits. And it wasn't just the guard. Then it was the center. Then it was the right guard. And I'm like, God dang. But it was literally whenever he was high. Only when he was high. When he played with pad level and technique, he was giving them boys fits. And then even when they subbed out, because obviously towards the end of the game, Michigan was up. So, yeah, so towards the end of the thing, Ohio State, I want to say they subbed out their starting offensive line. Oh, he went on a tear. It was like, bro, this is crazy.
What do you think of when you see tape like that?
Of a guy looks decent versus the high end, and then when they sub out and then he
like,
dominates it?
Is it going through your mind? Like, where's the coaching with this? Or do you think it's just a natural thing? Sometimes you get tired. There's that human factor of when you're on the field, you're not going to be perfect all the time.
So, number one, you're going to get tired, and you practice whatever you do when you're tired, you're going to do in the games. And that's one of the things why we're so, like, anal at times about technique and drilling it. We're like, bro, I don't care about how many spectacular plays you can make. It's funny. Me and my son, we just had this conversation yesterday. Because he's like, I want to make all the one-hand catches. I'm like, great. I've watched AB for 4 years. AB made 1,000 two-hand catches in every single direction every day in practice and every day after practice. You got to do all those things first, and then that's how you get the one hands. But he also practices the one hands. You can't just show up and say, I'm going to catch one hand. But a lot of people just think you could just hop to that level. So when you talk technique, even in college, yeah, you got coaches that drill it, but you still got other players you're working with. And if this is your best D lineman and he's going to make plays anyways, you're not going to be tripping on that all the time. And if it's only on occasion when you play at Ohio State or you play at Bama or you play one of these high-end teams where you're going to have some of this pop up, you're not going to lose a lot of sleep over that. But at the NFL level, that's the difference between you having a job or not. That's the difference between you being Tyson Alualu or Montravis Adams, or you being Carlos Davis or Khalil Davis. Can you do it consistently? All of those guys have talent, but the level of consistency is very different from all of those dudes we named. And that's the only thing, like when I look at Keeanu, that's what I think of. It's like, yeah, I get how you could slip through the cracks with your technique because you're still good at all this other stuff. And if these are the only teams that are going to give you challenges like that, you're not facing Ohio State every week. So you're still going to be able to beat dominant. Sure. You're still going to be able to put up numbers. And even in that same game, it was like, I started laughing. I said, yo, if you didn't know they subbed up the offensive line, you could watch the last 2.5 minutes of this game. You'd be like, bro, this dude is an animal. He's swim moving, chasing stuff down, causing the pressure split. And I'm like, bro, what? But then you watch the first 3.5? Nah. It was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. But that's why I was like, I like to watch the game. I'm like, yo, I want to see no All-Star. I want to see no highlight. Give me the game. I need to see what you did for them whole quarters. Because you're going to have 4-5 plays from your highlight tape from this Ohio State game. It's going to have me feeling like something. And I'm going to look at this game and I'm be like, bro, that is not an accurate depiction of what actually happened out here, man.
Benton destroys Ohio State O-line.
Bro, he hit my man one time. He was like, yeah. I say, yo, where was this at? I say, I just seen 74 from here take you on the big boy ride and was like, come here. Yeah.